So now the greenies want a new tax on oil and gas producers, which is exactly what we do not need. Joining us now to talk about it, former Energy Secretary and America First Policy Institute Chairman, former Texas Governor, my great friend Rick Perry. Rick, good to see you. Can I just start? I want to go back before we get to this methane tax and all that stuff. Rick, last week, with the OPEC meeting, and they're still in Scotland and, you know, climate change and the weatherman. So the United States government asks OPEC Plus to please, pretty please, produce more oil and gas, and they say no. And then our energy secretary comes home and giggles about it. I have a big problem with that, Rick, on about 5 different levels.
Stunning look, number one, that the Secretary of Energy doesn't care anything more about the average American than to basically laugh in their face and say, listen, I'm not going to wave a magic wand and go try to do some things like keep a pipeline open, like send the message that we need to be drilling more in the United States. Whether it's regulations or whether it's whatever you want to put into place, send the message to U.S. oil and gas producers that we're supporting you. We're going to try to help alleviate this shortage of crude that's going on out there. And instead, she laughs at the camera. You don't need to know anything more about this administration than that to understand they don't give a tinker's damn about you, the cost of fuel, the cost of anything that gets transported out there. This is a administration that, and they're sending the cross signals they're sending. You got Mr. Kerry traveling around the world, jetting around the world, I might add, to tell people, to lecture countries, don't use any more fossil fuels, but please send us more because our gas prices are really high.
It's just really, I mean, yeah, and I think average people, you know, average families, motorists are beginning to figure this out. That, you know, we're 2 million barrels short per day, and if you put them back on the market, that is American barrels of oil, the gasoline, the world price and the gasoline price would come down a whole lot. I mean, I think people are catching on to that. But the other point is, Rick, we have, you know, that's just emissions, all this climate change stuff. We have an excellent record on carbon emissions. Indeed, it is the best of the advanced countries. We basically beat the Paris Climate Accord targets years earlier. And I'll add one more point. There is no way, Rick Perry, and you're a growth guy, there is no way we're going to grow the economy, create tens of millions of jobs, both here and around the world, if we cut back on energy. We need more energy, Rick, not less.
And we're shutting down pipelines. I mean, the message to our European partners, if you will, that we're going to shut down a pipeline in the United States, but we're going to let the Russians open a pipeline in that part of the world without any. I mean, what are they thinking? It is crazy the disconnect that the Biden administration has relative to the world. On the one hand, you got to cut all these emissions, and then they're begging OPEC to send crude into the United States. I'm telling you, you can't make this stuff up. This is the Keystone Cops.
Yeah. Secretary, this pipeline 5, if I have the story right, coming down from Canada, working its way through Michigan, 540,000 barrels per day, which ain't nothing, 540,000 barrels a day. So why would they shut that down?
Listen, there are people inside this administration that hate fossil fuels.
Yeah.
They shut down the Keystone pipeline. They tried to stop the pipeline through the Dakotas, the Dakota Access. There's literally EPA regulations that are finding their way through to stop. I mean, simple things like putting recording stations on existing pipelines and saying things like, we're going to use this process to do an environmental study that may take literally years to complete. And what they're doing is every regulation, every agency of government, every way they can to stifle and kill the fossil fuel industry. All that's going to do is, number one, it's going to kill a lot of jobs, union jobs, for instance, that already have been lost. The price of gasoline, we haven't even seen it start to go up. I made the estimation a couple of days ago that $100 a barrel crude oil in 6 months, not out of the realm of possibility at all. The cost to the American people of this out of control, left, crazy, AOC, Green New Deal administration is going to be stunning.
Secretary Perry, is this the time, and do we need a new tax on natural gas, this methane tax, which has come up in the past? Why now?
Because they hate the fossil fuel industry, Larry. I'm telling you, they think that the election in 2020 was a mandate. It wasn't. And we saw Virginia overwhelmingly. We saw New Jersey. You're going to see people turned out in droves, including those 13 Republicans that voted for this infrastructure bill. The American people wanted to see some sense of normalcy, if you will, and what they have gotten in return is absolute chaos. I don't know who's in charge of the White House. Who knows who's calling the shots up there, but they're really bad shots. And whoever it is must really not like America's economy. And I got to say, don't like American citizens.
Well, I think James Carville got it, Rick. They need to go to woke rehab centers. I just think that's the best way to say something.
So we got to stand up and push back as American people here hard, not let them get by with this. Those members of Congress better take a deep seat. And the ones that don't understand that this is the future of America, my friend, it's not going to turn out well for you. And if you love this country at all, you need to take a recalculation of where you are, what you believe in, and push back on this administration every way you can within reason.
And President Trump, in his very, very good speech Thursday night, Rick, he said, have courage. Have courage of your convictions. America first. Rick Perry, former Secretary of Energy, former governor, former every darn thing. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate it very, very much. Coming up on Kudlow, Save America, Kill the Bill. All right, now it's really important. We must defeat the social spending behemoth. So we're going to see if we can figure it out with our great friend, Congressman Kevin Brady of Texas. And folks, remember, you can catch Kudlow Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. right here on Fox Business. And if for some reason you can't catch us at 4, well, just DVR the show. You'll never miss a thing. And you'll know why we need to kill the bill to save America.
At Vanguard, you're more than just an investor. You're an owner with access to financial advice, tools, and a personalized plan that helps you build a future for those you love. Vanguard. Become an owner.
Tums versus Mozzarella Stick. When heartburn hits, fight back fast with Tums Chewy Bites. Fast heartburn relief in every bite. Crunchy outside, chewy inside. Tums Chewy Bites.
Shows like this matter. They're a celebration not just of the work, but of the people who do it.
I think it's very important to look at America as a can-do place.
Where we can achieve anything that we can dream of.
It's American values, it's American roots. It all leads to this.
If you work hard, you can pursue that dream.
I'm right here in the greatest country God ever created.
Whining windows or flying off the
Today,
shelves.
your customers want it all. You have to deal with higher expectations, and you have to lower wait times.
Last one.
With IBM, you can do both. Your business can unify apps and data across your clouds, so you can address supply chain issues in real time before they impact your bottom line. Predicting and managing operational issues. That's why so many businesses work with IBM.
Yes.
Every time the chute opens, my life gets very simple. The bull's job is to buck me off, and it's my job to hang on, no matter what. They say it's the most dangerous 8 seconds in sports. But one thing is certain. Chances are I'm going to be hurting tomorrow. I know you were never going to get on a bull, but how about taking those nice long walks again? Or gardening? I was skeptical that anything that's 100% drug-free could be tough enough for my pain. But then I tried Relief Factor, and now I depend on it every day to help me get out and stay out of pain. If you work hard for a living like I do, or if everyday aches and pains slow you down, do what I did and order the 3-week Quick Start. You can get started for just $19.95. Order today at ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF. You'll be glad you did.
Singing or speaking.
Reason or fun. Daring or thoughtful. Sensitive or strong. Progress isn't either or.
Progress is everything.